It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's coming up next.
With its distinctive swimming pools in the upper deck, there's a look inside Everbank Stadium here in Duval County, Florida. Here now is Cam Little out to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out. You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And only able to get two here. Stopped at the 30. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Howard. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Devon Hamilton in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3-and-out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and is doing everything in his power to follow through. The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Thomas will come in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. Here's 3rd and 7. Here's Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And it's a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, this jet sweep is so popular now in football, but Charles, here's the downside, a turnover.
Yeah, because you want so badly to get the ball in the hands of your receivers, let him try and create something. I think that when he took the handoff, he was thinking something big. Instead, he didn't feel the pressure, and the ball came free.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And the first drive, 3-and-out. 2nd possession. Let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to throw. Howard. He'll find Metcalf. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. Now run straight ahead with Warren. Devon Hamilton with the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Howard completes it to Austin. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 39. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Howard. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Off the play fake. Howard. And that will be incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. Another tote for Etienne. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Third and 2. They'll run with Etienne. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. To throw is Howard. Throwing to start the drive. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
On the give, it's Warren. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Howard off the play fake. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now Lawrence to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Off play action. Howard. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They toss it to Warren. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Back to throw. Howard. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. 2nd and 10. Running out of the gun with ETN. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Here's Lawrence to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Running a jet sweep. This is Austin. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Looking to throw. Howard. Man open downfield. It's Metcalf. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards.
Well, they've looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Howard.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Running left, it's Warren.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Here's Howard operating from the gun. This will be caught just inside the 10. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Warren diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Jaguars back with it on offense. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Now ETN to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Lawrence. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Howard. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. ETN.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw there to Strange.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
Play action. It's Lawrence. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Howard.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Howard. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I know that rookie quarterbacks have to earn veteran receivers' trust. Maybe we saw that on that play with that type of effort, huh?
Yeah, helping out the rook with a heck of a catch. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Here's Freiermuth again.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it. He's still on his feet.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
DK Metcalf.
51 yards.
And the Steelers had 6 to their lead.
Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner, and that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return.
The Steelers' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw here's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
A handoff for Warren.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Dances by him. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And now out come the Jags.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They go play action with Lawrence.
Looking long for Thomas.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with second down coming up.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11.
Back to throw again.
To the sideline and incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Set to punt. Here's Cameron Johnston. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Second down and 3. Now Lawrence.
He completes it to Hunter. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Lawrence.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there just before halftime. 52 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
We saw a solid first half out of running back Jaylen Warren. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. That's caught by Munt.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
On play action, Lawrence.
Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. He was brought down by Foyesade Oluwakin.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete here.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Howard. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it, and they pick up another first down there.
They'll run it. Warren. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Operating from the gun. Howard. Over the middle, that's caught by Woods. 7 yards there and a first down. Back to throw. Howard. And that's going to be incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Howard. Over the middle. That's caught by Metcalf. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 17-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Off play action. Howard. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Howard. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Howard. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Devin Lloyd was there to force the incompletion.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So just 3 points there, but that important in the grand scheme of things because it's now a 3-score lead.
And to now, the other guys haven't shown that they can do anything offensively, so just take the points, keep adding that cushion, and let your defense win you the football game.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Jaguars getting set to go.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
ETN up the middle.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now Lawrence to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Draw play, ETN. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 8. Lawrence.
Thomas brings it in. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
ETN is in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
And that's a step in the right direction. This had the feeling of one of those turning point kind of drives. If you come up empty there, it could be a long road back. But they persevered and hung around, and they closed the gap here in the 3rd quarter with their 1st touchdown of the game.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up, it's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. And you see the numbers for him into this 3rd quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open throughout.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And that one results in 35 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Back to throw. Howard.
Austin is there and brings in another one.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
On the run, it's Warren. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Howard now. From the gun, he'll throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Howard. He finds Austin complete, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So the completion good for just 3, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
A 2nd field goal here in this 3rd quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll go again with Etienne.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
59 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion.
Brown goes in motion left. Here's Lawrence to throw.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense. diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action from Jacksonville. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And incomplete on the deep ball. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back now in Jacksonville. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 6. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. That is caught, and he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there, 21 yards the play. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game. And trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Operating from the gun, Howard. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Pat Freiermuth, the intended target. 3rd down here. Operating from the gun, Howard. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne, and that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Now Lawrence And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Lawrence will throw. And he will slide down with the first down for the moment, but a penalty flag on the field. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Steelers offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 85 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Howard. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
Still 3rd down.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Back to throw. Howard. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 14. That's a third down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Complete to Austin here over the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys under pressure.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Steelers have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. This ball caught by Strange. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Now Lawrence. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
They'll run with ETN. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. Here's Lawrence. Flushed out right. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Trevor Lawrence taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jaguars have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. A first down carry here for Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 11. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Howard. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the give, it's Warren. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a run with Warren. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. Now 2nd and 5. Here's Warren. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren, and he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And running with power here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars. Down by 15. A little over a minute to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. And oh, he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
This offense has had its troubles moving the ball all night. So now you get in this situation, hard to imagine that suddenly they're going to start clicking and moving the ball downfield.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, and that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. Another one in the books for his partner. Always great to be by your side. And look, both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner, and let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Jacksonville, good night, everybody.